And this is usually the case. You know, day shift nurses, it's just the energy isn't the same. You know, there's like a tight knit night crew all the time, and day shift nurses is like they might not be as tight knit, it might not be as fun. Yeah, it's just not really it. YouTube family, what's good? It's your boy Trev CN, and yes, I'm here with another video. Today I'm going to be discussing some of the benefits of working night shift. Before I even get into it, you know what you got to do. Hit that like button for me, hit that subscribe button, tap that bell, and then we can get into it, alright? So chances are, if you got a new job somewhere, let's say you're a new person on the block, or you're a new grad coming straight out of school and you're getting your first job, it's a very likely that you will be offered a night shift position, you know? And with night shift, there are a lot of negative connotations, you know? People say things like you're gonna be sleep deprived, or how bad your social life is gonna be, blase, blah, like your quality of life is gonna be bad. But in all actuality, there are a lot of benefits to working night shift. Me, myself, I've been working night shift for about 5 years now. Yeah, 5 years. 3 as a tech, 2 and some change as a nurse, you know, and I actually like it. I prefer it. Like, I don't see me going to work day shift anytime soon. Maybe in the future when like family and kids come, and that could probably change some things. But as for right now, for me myself, I wouldn't work day shift. I would work night shift. All right. So, and a couple reasons why. Right. So one benefit of working night shift is less distractions. When I say distractions, it's less of the politics, less of the gossip. Me personally, I'm somebody that can't stand any of that type of stuff. I'm not a man of the extracurriculars, you know, the talking and all this other catty stuff that goes on in the workplace. I'm not really with that. And in night shift, there's less people, so naturally, it's gonna be less of that, you know. So, and especially if you're a new grad, you don't have time to be like, you know, involved in these type of things. You need to stay, concentrate on the job, learn what you're doing, develop your pace, and really figure out exactly how to become a nurse. So even me, I'm no longer a new grad. I have some experience under my belt. I still can't stand any of that. You know, with night shift, I mentioned politics and I mentioned gossip, but it's also less people in and out of the room. You know, so you get to do what you got to do in an efficient manner. You're not really disrupted. During day shift, you have so many doctors that come in the room. You have the attending that might come in the room if it needs to be, the fellow, maybe a couple residents, some students, volunteers, PT, OT, speech, like, you know, there's so many different people that come in and out of the room, so it could kind of, it won't hinder what you gotta do, but it could kind of affect it, you know, like you might want to go in the room and do something now, but then you might have to wait and then come back. Night shift, you don't deal with that too much. So just less distraction, less people around, management is not around, so you don't have to feel like, you know, you're being micromanaged. You could kind of, it's a little bit easier, you know, because everyone's uptight when management is around constantly, so you get to be a little easier yourself, laid back, you know, just focus on the job and do what you got to do. Another benefit is the commute to work. And the commute coming home, actually, way easier, way smoother. You know, I take the train for the most part into the city, into Manhattan, and I'm going the opposite way. Like when everyone's leaving the city, I'm going in. So I always get a seat, you know, I like to sit down, you know, no one's like bumping me. If you ever been on New York City trains during rush hour, you know exactly what I'm talking about. No one's bumping me, no one's stepping on my sneakers. I'm not, you know, dealing with any of the stuff that goes on, the extracurriculars that go on in the train. You know, you have people coming in, performing, and all that type of stuff. If you're from New York City, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I rarely deal with any of that. If I decide to drive into work, I'm going against rush hour, you know, so I'm not dealing with trying to come into Manhattan 7:30 in the morning. You could just imagine that, you know, looking for parking. Everything is just a lot easier when you work night shift, because you're going against what everyone else is doing. So when you're about to go into work, you know, you got to get your mind right, and then having to deal with stuff like people bumping you and dealing with a whole bunch of extra stuff, you might not be able to get your mind right. You want to get focused because you don't know what you're about to walk into. So having that nice commute in and just having that space, being able to chill is something that like I love. I love it. You know, I couldn't deal with. I mean, if I had to, of course, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. But I would strongly prefer to just have the commute the way I have it now instead of, you know, being with a ton of people or being in a ton of traffic. Another benefit is the crew that you work with when you work night shift. You know, I haven't worked everywhere, obviously, so I haven't seen every single night shift crew in every single hospital. But generally, the crew at a night shift is younger, better energy, you know, enthusiastic. Just, you know, they tend to be a lot more fun to be around, you know, and you're working with these people for 12 hours, like literally half of a day you're with these people. So you might as well be with a fun crew, some people that are cool, you know, they just chill. Day shift nurses, for the most part, they tend to be more seasoned. So these people that have more years in the game, they're older, they might be burnt out because, you know, nursing is a tough job. So if you've been a nurse for 15, 20 years, there's a good chance you're burnt out. These people have, for the most part, stressful outside lives. They got the kids, they got the husbands, other responsibilities. So you get a lot more complaining. Not everyone, of course, this is general. But, you know, I've been in about 4 hospitals already. When it comes to like my capstones, you know, jobs as a nurse, as a tech, and this is usually the case. You know, day shift nurses, it's just the energy isn't the same. You know, there's like a tight knit night crew all the time, and day shift nurses is like they might not be as tight knit, it might not be as fun. Yeah, it's just not really it. And you know, me personally, I love the ladies that I work with. You know, like, they're super cool, and even when I isolate myself, it's like I'm still happy with the people I work with, as opposed to, you know, some of the things you might have to deal with when you work night shift. So the crew is gonna, and just something about working night shift together as well that makes people a lot tighter, you know. So that's a big plus for me, you know. Like I said, I'm at work a lot, so I would like to enjoy the people that I'm working with. The last benefit is more money. Y'all know me, man. That's a huge thing, you know. Most hospitals, I think all hospitals, or close to all, they give you a night differential. At my institution, they give 10% more for working a night shift. That's a lot of money being left on the table just to work days, you know. Me personally, I don't have a problem with sleeping during the day. It does not affect my life. My social life is still good. I still feel great. I'm in good shape. So working nights, getting the extra money to do the same job, you could use that extra money towards, you know, invest in something, use that money for vacations. Nurses love to vacate, you know. So like with my institution, I make the comparison, like, hey, if I'm making 10% more, and let's say most nurses are gonna work like 40 years. Let's just say by the year 10, I made 11 years worth of money, while a day shift nurse made 10 years worth of money. So I literally made a whole extra year just for working night shift, doing the same amount of work, doing the same amount of time. So that's a big benefit for me. To me, man, just working night shift is a win-win. Like, I'm getting paid extra, I'm around a better crew for the most part, less distractions. Just working nights is overall good, you know. I guess it's nice to be on the same type of time as the rest of the world, like, you know, if you have a family, things of that nature. But until it affects my health, I feel like I'm gonna stay on night shift, man. Like, night shift is literally not that bad. Like, if you haven't worked it, it sounds crazy to work from 7:30 at night to 7:30 in the AM. But until you try it, don't knock it. Listen, take my word for it. You feel me? Like, don't knock it until you try it. You'll see. I've even talked to some of my coworkers. A lot of them go to nights. Go to days as soon as they can. But some of the ones that are on nights now, they're saying, like, you know, nights not bad. I don't mind staying here for a little longer, you know? So don't knock it until you try it. You know, it's really not that bad. So those are the benefits that I have for working night shift. You know, like, comment, subscribe. If you work night shift, tell me how you feel about it. If you hate it, why you hate it. If you like it, tell me why you like it. And then you guys stay cool till the next video, alright?